If you want bigger and stronger legs, nothing will do that better than lifts on two legs like squats and deadlifts. But if you want to develop balance, functional strength, athleticism, coordination, all while ironing out lower body imbalances, then incorporating single leg training into your routine can pay massive dividends. Use bilateral movements to get massively strong and cover the big rocks, but then layer in unilateral exercises for more functional strength and to fill in the gaps with the little rocks. This approach will help you to get the best of both worlds and help you to become an even better athlete and mover. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 4 single leg exercises that not only build strength, but also improve stability, coordination, overall movement quality, and athleticism. You'll be able to easily add these 4 moves into your routine to build strength and improve your performance. Let's get started. Exercise number 1 is a single leg deadlift with band RNT. All right, I'm sure you've been doing bilateral deadlifts, bilateral RDLs, as well as bilateral leg curls on a machine. But how often are you training your posterior chain, your hamstrings, and your glutes on one leg? And that's why today we're gonna be showcasing for exercise number 1, the single leg deadlift. But we're gonna supercharge it. We're gonna take it a step further beyond just a single leg deadlift. We're gonna add this band as resistance in the form of RNT. And I'll explain what that means later, but it's basically reactive neuromuscular training. And I'll tell you how it works in a little bit. But basically what you're gonna do is get into the band like this. All right, so you're gonna step into the band and get it around knee height or so. The exact placement doesn't matter too much as long as it's somewhere in this region. All right, now I'm gonna grab onto a dumbbell. And we're gonna do our traditional single leg deadlift. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna bend this knee about 15 to 20 degrees and we're gonna sit this leg back. We're gonna hinge back and allow our torso to lean forward as we come down. All right, so watch this. Come down, I sit back just like an RDL, but obviously it's on one leg. And then I stand back up. All right, what I'm really trying to do is shift my weight back and make it so that my knee doesn't come too far forward. All right, so let me show you again. I sit back, bring my hips back, bring my weight back. I feel a lot of hamstring, a lot of glute, a lot of lower back working here to stabilize, and then I stand back up. One more time, whoop. Again, this is the stability balance aspect, right? Coming down, trying to keep my weight back, trying to keep my knee back, not letting things shift forward, keeping things back before I stand up. All right, now what's the band doing? The band, I'm sure a lot of you, if you've done single leg work before or have done any sort of like athletic training, your knees might be in a position where they feel a little unstable. They feel like they want to get pulled in. And so what this band is doing is actually making it so that it exacerbates that. It's pulling your knee in even further. And what happens then is your brain actually kicks on and it's like, wait a minute, what's all this force coming in this way? I have to trigger more muscles to bring that knee back out in better alignment. So this is just a sneaky way to groove better form, better alignment without even having to think about it. Before we learned about band RNT, what we'd have people do as we were training them in person, we'd say, hey, keep that knee out. Don't let that knee from coming in. And we tell them ad nauseum, and they get frustrated with us being like, I'm trying, I'm doing my best. Now, once we learned about this, we realized that we didn't even have to cue. We didn't have to say anything. And just by simply placing this band here and getting to an appropriate resistance level with it, the knee and the glute and the hips, everything would automatically kick on and they would be automatically in better alignment without us having to say a word. That's why I really like this. It increases the challenge a little bit, but it also cleans up form without you having to really think about much because you just feel what's going on because the band is pulling you in. And that's why when we first learned it, we were like, wait, why don't we just have the band pull it into a better position? But that doesn't work because it makes it easier on your brain. It can just shut things off really quickly and you're not really actually actively stabilizing. So by having the band pull you in, it's in a greater position to learn and feel that feedback from the band and help keep that better alignment. Now for the single leg deadlift with band RNT, we like 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps or so. So a little bit higher reps, a little bit lighter in load because we're really trying to challenge that hip stability aspect. Exercise number 2 is the step up with knee drive. All All right, now every time that you take a step, you're gonna be pushing off one leg and then stepping through with the other, right? Anytime we're stepping up, and then we're flexing this hip to get up onto the next step. Anytime we're sprinting, we're driving off one leg and then bringing the other knee up high. That's why we're gonna be focusing today on the step up with knee drive for our second exercise. All right, so this is what it looks like. You're gonna grab a pair of dumbbells and you're gonna get onto a box that's around knee height or so, somewhere around there, all right? Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna step up onto the box like this and you're gonna drive up. But we're not just stepping up here like this. What we see oftentimes happen is people load this up super heavy, they come up, and then they do one of those types of movements where they end up turning it into more of a bilateral type of movement. We want to keep it unilateral for as long as possible, all while patterning proper movements. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna step up, but instead of letting this foot land on the box, I want you to drive all the way up into full hip flexion here, all while driving bottom leg extension, and then bring it right back down. So you're right here, you drive up through full hip extension and then full hip flexion here. I want you to try to get as tall as possible with your upper body with your head and posture, while driving down as much as you can with that bottom leg. All right, so now we're really getting into a good pattern where we're extending with the bottom hip, flexing with the top hip, and it's super beneficial and has a lot of carryover to how we move in everyday life, how we move in sports, and it's gonna really help to balance that out. And this really challenges your stability, your balance, and improves your coordination. For the step up with knee drive, I like 3 to 4 sets of 6 to 8 reps on each side. Exercise number 3 is the skater squat with reach. Now, I'm a big fan of split squats and reverse lunges where you step back, you lunge down, and you come all the way up. There's a ton of benefits in this split position, both from a single leg standpoint and just from an overall flexibility and mobility standpoint. And lunges are a staple in our program. But today we're gonna take it a step further with the skater squat. I view lunges as a single leg but supported exercise like this, because you're stepping back from a single leg stance, but you end up supporting yourself with that back leg as you come down. Today, we're gonna take it a step further with the skater squat by being unsupported in a single leg stance. All right, so this is what it looks like. I like to grab a pad, some sort of soft mat, and then what I like to do is step in front of the pad. Now from here, I'm going to step back as if I'm about to perform a reverse lunge, but I'm not gonna tap my toes on the ground. All I'm gonna worry about is eccentric control. Slowly lower down and tap my knee down to the pad. So this is what it looks like. I come down, slight tap, and then come all the way back up. What you'll notice is I'm barely putting any pressure into the pad before I come back up. And this is where the true single leg, unsupported nature of the exercise comes from, because I'm no longer putting a lot of weight onto that back leg. I'm staying forward onto this leg here as I go through the movement. Now this really challenges balance, stability, coordination as I'm going through the movement, and it's making me manage my center of mass so much more than a reverse lunge where I can just plant that back foot, and even if I'm a little bit sloppy, I can still maintain my balance. But I love this movement here because it really amplifies the single leg nature of being in a split position like this. One more time. Oof. Now for the skater squat with reach, I like 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps, so a little bit of a higher rep. If you want to make it even more challenging, you can step up onto a plate, some sort of aerobic step, to increase the range of motion even more. And alternatively, if you want to regress the movement a little bit, you can build this up by having multiple pads here to regress the movement. Last but not least, exercise number 4 is the lateral lunge with floating heel. All right, now all single leg training is actually multiplanar in nature due to the fact that you are on one leg. But now we're gonna take it a step further with the lateral lunge. All right, now with the lateral lunge, what most people end up doing is they step off to the side, they really hinge back, before coming back up. All right, let me show you from the profile view. They come out here, and then they sit all the way back, and they come back up. All right, and they turn it into more of a hip dominant position. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna show you a little bit of a different alternative today where it's gonna make it more into a quad dominant, knee dominant position, all right? So for this position, what I want you to do is you're gonna step out to the side the same way, but I actually want you to be on your toes, all right? So we're gonna have what's known as a floating heel, where the heel is no longer in contact with the ground. All right, now from there, you're going to drop straight down like so while maintaining this floating heel position before coming back up. All right, so by being in this floating heel position, I automatically feel way more quad than before, and I'm also building resiliency in this knee. And then from there, I pop back up. All right, if I were to keep my heel down, I feel much more hamstring and glute. So it just depends on which muscle groups that you're really looking for. But I really like this as an exercise to add into the mix sometimes because it really incorporates a lot of element of stability throughout my foot, ankle, calf, and Achilles, all trying to work and stabilize together as I go through this movement. And if you think about it in everyday life, in athletics, if you are to move laterally quickly, you're not going to plant and sit back. You are going to be up onto your toes, your knees are going to come in a little bit, and you're going to be able to react better that way. And so you'll see athletes all the time being in these wild, aggressive angles and positions up onto the balls of their feet in an athletic position. They're not training a very hip dominant weight on the heel stance. So this is a good one to just switch into the mix sometimes. And if you want to up the ante even more, you can grab weights in each hand and then step off to the side. And I like to sort of straddle the weights on either side of my leg, and then I push back up. All right, so again, floating heel, the weights are on either side, and then I pop myself back up. All right, for the lateral lunge with the floating heel, I like 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps on each side. There you have it, 4 single leg exercises to build strength, improve balance, and enhance your performance. Try incorporating the ones that fit your goals into your routine and you'll start noticing the benefits in no time. And if you're looking for workouts that combine strength, mobility, and athletic performance, check out our free guide, Sustainable Strength. It includes a sample week of workouts to help you train smarter. You can find the link in the description box below. If you like this video, please hit the like button down below, subscribe for more content just like this, and let us know in the comment section down below what you'd like to see from us in the future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.